Are we live?
Just now coming. We are live.
Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham.
Ki Jai!
Jai. Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Banu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ju Ki
Jai!
Shri Shri Radha Raman Ju Ki Jai. Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai. Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Can you make sure all the lights are on? I think we're listening to some. Oh, we are. Can you turn those ones on, please?
Yes. No, Sudevi, you sit. I'll do it. Thank you.
So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of Sri Gaudiya Giti Guccha, Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutuk Padakamalam.
Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Odaya Madhurya Gunaishta Yuktam Varam Varinyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami Trigandilam Bhakta Shiromanincha Shri Krishna Pada Jitataika Hriddi Chaitanya Lila Grita Sarasaram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya व्यदेशतारिणे नमः विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिप्रज्ञान केशव इति नामिने अतीमर्त्यचरित्राय स्वश्रितानञ्चपालिने जीवदुःखे सदर्ताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी गणिकाय कृपाभये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दैने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमध्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरा करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दिनतारिणे रूपानुगम्यरूपाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे अनम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगम्बरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतं सुरतो पङ्गो मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वप्तनं मोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठादिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भी वंशिवततस्तुतः कर्षन्मेरुस्मरगोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीसुनः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै नियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णा भक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मिकायै कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयर्कैलवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं गुडिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् हरे राम हरे नामेव केवलं कलो नस्त्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
I'm just reminding you that Sham Prabhu asked for Mama Mana Manjare today.
Do you have that lecture you had the other day with Gurudev speaking about Harinam?
Srila Mantra?
No, the other one. That only Harinam. Remember you were reading to me?
I think I was listening on a live video. I was dressed in topper.
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Page 32.
Dandavat Pranama Vaishnavas.
Dandavat Pranama Vaishnavas.
Dandavat Pranams. Also, we have a request from Didi Sharma Goswami that tonight we sing Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol at the end.
ठीक है.
It will be the last bhajan leading into Hare Krishna.
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Guruye Dase Nape Kayoti Kripa Bindu Diya Gurudev सकले समान करिते शागति देहनाथ तबे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराध अपराध गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदुरिया गुरुए दासे न बेखायोती Gurudeva
Next bhajan. E baro purna karo Vaishnava Goshai, page 44. E-I-B-A-R-A-K-A-R-U-N-A. Karo. K-A-R-O. Except when you're pronouncing it with a Bengali accent, it becomes Koro. All of the A's have to be rounded up. That's why it sounds like that. That's why they say Hore Ramo, like that, because that's how they pronounce it.
Also, we're getting a request for Hari He Sangha Dosha Shunya.
What page is that?
196.
196. Let me just look at it really quickly.
So if you're new to this thread, we're just to let you know if you don't have a songbook, Hani Goswami is putting the page numbers, but Jiva Bhavana Prabhu is also putting the bhajans, the lyrics and the translations at the bottom of each comment. No, at the bottom of the thread.
Yes. Or it could be the top of the thread. It's the latest comment or the newest one. Because now they have newest. Not the latest, but the newest. So, thank you Jiva Bhavana Prabhu. Dandava Pranam. So who's asking for this? Rupa Charan Prabhu? No, for Hari He Sangha Dosha
Hani
Shunya.
Goswami, and it's based on the 5th verse of Upadesha Amrita.
It's pretty amazing because a devotee, Rupa Charan Prabhu, asked a question regarding this specific topic, which I was going to start with today. So it's so appropriate. We will sing it afterward. Thank you, Hani Goswami. Hani Goswami is the sister of Manas Goswami, who is the fiancé of the soon-to-become Sudevi Goswami.
Okay, so Evana Karuna Koro, page 44.
44. Evana Karuna Koro Vaishnava Goshai. Not yet. Can you do me money?
Isn't that a Vaishnava song? The different categories of Vaishnavas?
Is it? Let me just double check. See, Sudevi is staying in Kram sequence. Yes, okay. 1926. Different categories of Vaishnavas. This one is quite interesting. This is based on the 5th verse of Bhagavatamrita. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta tikshashti chet pranatibhish chavajantamisham shushrusaya bhajan vidyamananyamanya nindadi shunyam hridamit sitasam nalabdhya. Okay.
So Hari Hai, Sangha Dosha Shunya. So it starts with Hari Hai and Sangha, S-A-N-G-A. Page 196. Page 196. Thank you, Hari Goswami.
Hari Hai Sangha Dosha Shunya Dikshita 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 Jadita Mona Sangha Dosha Shunya Dikshita Dikshita Jadita Mona Manase Adoro Kuribota Hari Jani Jo Janota Dikshita Hoya Bhaje Duapano Tahare Pranati Gori Dikshita Hoya Ananya Bhajane Vidyaje Jano Atahare Se Vibhogari Sarvabhute Samo Vaishnava Thakur Jai Vaishnava Thakur Vaishnava Thakur Jai Vaishnava Thakur Thank you. That was the first time I ever sang that.
Me too.
And it's very interesting. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he has, like this bhajan, for each verse of Upanishadamrita, he has a different bhajan to explain it. So it's like a commentary, but in a bhajan form, in a song form, which makes it easier to remember the commentary. And he also has done it for Sri Shikshashtakam, and he's also done it for Sri Manashiksha, and many other prayers. So it's very nice. It's a very good way to learn the deeper meaning in a form which also has a tune, which I mentioned yesterday. It's easier to remember a shlok if you sing it. Right? We all know Govinda Damodara Madhaveti because of that beautiful tune. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So when there's a nice tune, it's easier to remember. So we sing a lot of our bhajans and kirtans. Can you leave Harmona Mani Aman in that? See if this works. Doesn't it sound like the Tampura from Prabhupada? I hear it and I just...
Remember Shampadas?
Yes.
Mama Mana Mandire.
And we're going to sing one for Gauranga. And not the one I just sang.
Avatara Sa.
Where is it?
Page 82.
82, Avatar Sar, Gore Avatar. Lochan Das Thakur, he's very amusing in his presentation. We sing many of his bhajans like Nitai Gunamani Amar, Parama Karuna, that other one, what is it? Tara Parayar, Papi Nahichar, where I will throw tar and feather. What did he say? I will tar and feather those who reject Nityananda Prabhu.
And like if you're not wearing tilak, it's over.
But this one here, this is very... Oh mind, why do you not worship Sri Gora, the best of all incarnations? You always stay in water, but your thirst is never satisfied or satiated. This is the consequence of your own activities. O mind, you always serve thorn trees with the hope of attaining nectarian fruits. My Gauranga is a wish-fulfilling tree of prem, but you consider him to be poison. O mind, searching for a sweet fragrance, you smell the palasha flower, which has no scent, and an insect has entered your nose. You suck on dry wood, mistaking it for sugarcane, so how can you get any sweetness? O mind, thinking it to be a necklace, you have put around your neck a snake that is the servant of Yama. You basked in fire, thinking it to be cool, and thus you suffer excruciating heat. O mind, you worship material existence, forgetting Sri Gauranga, and you fail to heed the advice of devotees. You have wasted both this life and the next, and thus you have destroyed your own self. So he's following this process, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada recommended, that when you wake up in the morning, beat your mind 100 times with a shoe, and at night before going to bed, beat your mind 100 times with a broomstick. So basically, in many indirect words, he's condemning himself. Look at what you have in front of you. It's like Gora Pahuna Hajiyamainu, that I have neglected that treasure, Prema Ratana Dan Helaya Harainu, and instead have knowingly drunk poison. So he's...
The previous translation said something that you went to smell the flower and got stung by a bee.
Yeah, it says an insect has entered your nose. So I remember once Sudevi and I were smelling the roses, and there was an insect that came out, and we began laughing because of this bhajan. How you go to smell a flower, but a bee comes out of that flower.
We offered it first.
Yes, we did. We said Hare Krishna, and then we smelled the roses. But still, a bee came out. You know, it comes to your nose, and it can sting you in the nose. So in the process of trying to smell the sweet things of this world, it will also sting you. We're trying to enjoy, but the result of our enjoyment is karma phal. To that extent that we enjoy in this material world, the karmic balancing act is that we will have to suffer. So this place is just a big balancing act. We struggle always to seek happiness, to seek enjoyment, and then we have to pay the price. This place, as Srila Prabhupada said, is no place for a gentle man, or gentle woman, or gentle person. One time devotees were complaining to Srila Prabhupada about wars and this and that, and he said, there have always been wars. There are wars now, and there will always be wars. The best thing is to get out of this material world as soon as possible.
So page 82, and also if you continue scrolling down, you'll find the name of Jiva Bhavana Prabhu, and he's always posting the lyrics, so you can do it online as well if you don't have a songbook. And also, if we're lucky, every now and then he posts bits of nectar, so keep searching like a bee. Dandavat Pranam, thank you, Jiva Bhavana Prabhu.
Avataro sa Gorayo Gota Yanona Pajini Dare Avataro sa Ukori Nirevas Gelona Pia Sapo Goro Pere O canto quiero taru Sodai se minimum Amrito parimaro yashe Canto quiero taru Sodai se minimum O prema kalpa taru Shri Gauranga Yama O prema kalpa taru Shri Gauranga Yama O tahare bhavi mishe tahare bhavi O shoro bhero yashe Balasho Shukimon Nashate Poshiro Ito Usura Hero Yashe Ikshudanda Bhavi Khata Chushimon Kamone Pani Mimito Kamone Pani Mimito Oharu Goliya Golayo Parimon Shamano Kinkaro Sapo Goliya Golayo Parimon Shintaro Goliya Aguro Harimon Samsaro Bhajini Shri Gauranga Bhulini Rashunini Sadhurgata Shri Gauranga Bhulini Rashunini Iha Parokaro Dukaro Alimon Kaliya Kono Vata Dukaro Alimon Kaliya Kono Vata Goyo Taro Sa Gorayo Tajaduna Jayo Shachidandan Jai Gaurapari Jai Shachidandan Jai Gaurapari Gaurade, 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 Gaurade Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. One time we were in Australia in Murwillumbah with our Srila Gurudev, and Sudevi sang one bhajan for him. And then afterward, Gurudev was in such a mood, and he said, when we do kirtan, we should do it with heart breaking, tears flowing from our eyes. And you can hear it on the recording, how beautiful his mood was. He just started with, I think it was Nitai Hai or Gaura Hai.
It's when he was saying that I should do a lot.
He was telling she should do a lot, but then he just said, like, go, go, Gaura Hai, Gaura Hai, Gaura Hai, Gaura Hai. So he led all of the devotees like that, but calling out. His heart was in a very deep mood. And then he went to Nitai Hai, Gaura Hai, then Radhe Hai, Krishna Hai. Like that was so beautiful and so powerful. So now, we will sing Mama Mana Mandire.
Mama Mana Mandire will be on page 384. And it starts with M-A-M-A, M-A-N-A. Mama Mana.
384.
No time today.
384.
Okay.
I hope I did that right. Hare Krishna.
Page 384.
Go ahead. Mama mandire dahani shri Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari Verse. Krishna
Srila
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Look up. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
बिहारी की जय, राधा रमण की जय, गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि हरि
Do you need this, Kishori?
No, it's actually good.
Now we are going Beyond Vaikuntha.
Can you bring me the cord for the iPad, please?
What does it look like?
It's the gray one coming out there.
Let me just make sure I didn't do anything bad here.
Just make sure Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati
He's
Prabhupada is
there.
there. And everything is good.
Okay, everything is good.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktāya Tadbhaktāya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrapatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In the same thousands of Dandava Pranam at the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And to our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga. And also I offer my Dandava Pranam to all Vaishnavas, past, present and future, including all of those who are present with us today. My Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam. Dandava Pranam.
So we received a beautiful question. And because yesterday or the day before, Sudevi was listening to a lecture of Srila Gurudev while she was dressing Thakurji, Srila Gurudev was speaking directly on this subject. So I wanted to address it quickly if possible.
We need to go beyond Vaikuntha.
I know, we still need to go beyond Vaikuntha, but these are important questions as well. So it says regarding the class of yesterday that Guru takes part of the karma of the disciple if that Guru is not a Satguru. So some devotees are giving Harinam to new people. Sometimes they say that real initiation is Diksha Mantra, not Harinam. How do we reconcile that? Harinam initiation should be given only by Satguru? Question. Or may a Madhyam senior Vaishnav give Harinam? Real initiation is Diksha and not Harinam? So he mentioned that he thinks these may be very simple, basic questions, but actually they're not. It's quite essential, and a lot of devotees, even senior devotees, means people who've been around for a long time, don't have these kinds of questions or don't contemplate these subject matters. You would not believe how often we have heard in our travels. Gurudev started us traveling around the world and preaching on his behalf in the year, what year was that? 2000. In the year 2000. So as we've been traveling around the world, staying in a different location every week for 18 years actually, because now we've been in lockdown for almost a year. We've gone to so many places, and devotees would say, it's just Harinam. Just Harinam. So it doesn't really matter who you get it from. And my response was always, just Harinam? Just? Harinam is everything. So this question is quite interesting. What Prabhu is asking here. What is Diksha? What is Harinam? Who is actually qualified to give Harinam? Who's actually qualified to give Diksha? What is the qualification of the Guru? So these questions are essential. They're foundational, but also they are necessary for us to understand. They're necessary for preachers to understand. They're necessary for, you can call it, say, the general mass or body of devotees to understand. They are necessary for those who are taking the role of Guru to understand, for sure and certain. So the first part that was mentioned was about Guru taking the sins of the disciple. This is true. Guru takes the sins of the disciple at the time of initiation. And if that Guru is not powerful or strong, or is not bound really strongly to the lotus feet of his Guru, or not bound to the lotus feet of Krishna, meaning if he's still a conditioned soul, then this is quite a dangerous undertaking. Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj said that nowadays we see that people take it as lightly as child's play, but it is the most serious thing in the universe. This taking any jiva and claiming that I can bring you to Krishna. This is not child's play. This is a very, very serious undertaking. He said it is a matter of life and death. So if we understand that it is a matter, it's more than a matter of life and death, because we've died so many times. We've experienced death so many times. This is like the ultimate life versus the ultimate repetition of birth and death. Accepting Sri Guru is that serious. The difference between trillions of lifetimes of birth, disease, old age, and death, and being pulled out of that, but not only being pulled out of that, being engaged in our internal, eternal, inherent, natural, loving service to our eternal beloved, Krishna. It is the difference of heaven and hell, or Golok and hell, if you want to call it that. So it's not a simple undertaking. It's not as easy as that. One person told me once, I need to go and initiate as many people as I can, as fast as I can, before these guys get there and initiate them. We heard it directly from their mouth. And then other people told us that they heard the same thing from their mouth. Where is Guru Tattva present within these words? I need to get there as fast as I can and initiate as many as I can before someone else gets there to initiate them. This is not the function of Guru. This is not the function of the nature of Guru-disciple relationship. So regarding the question, do they take sins? Yes, if they're not qualified, they take sins. But we sang in the bhajan today, Ebaro Kurana Koro Vaisnava Goshai. In there it says, Gangara Parashahoile Pashtati Pavan Darshani Pavitra Koro Eto Margum. So just by taking bath in Ganga, one's sins are removed. But simply by having darshan of the pure devotee. The pure devotee. Pure means without any mal, any impurity. Gurudev was speaking the other day. Yes, it may sound that I'm speaking different from Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Prabhupada. He says, don't tell lie. I say tell truth. We're saying the same thing but in different words. He said no one person can speak exactly the same words. Unless you're quoting a shlok or something, every once in a while you tell quote, but then there's the spontaneous manifestation of the heart. The essence is the same, but maybe the words are different. So, Srila Gurudev was explaining once upon a time when one devotee came to him, namely Sudevi. She was afraid to touch his feet in the very beginning because we understood growing up in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness that if you touch the feet of your guru, you give them your karma and then they become sick because they're absorbing the sins of anyone who touches their feet. So they become sick. But for a pure devotee, they're so powerful that they go to the holy places and dissolve the sins of all of the people who leave their sins in the holy place. Millions and millions come to bathe in the lakes and rivers of the holy places to remove their sins. So they leave their sins there. And the pure Vaishnava goes to that place and literally vaporizes those sins by their presence. How powerful are they? So Srila Gurudev told her that she should not think like that. He told her, you should see that from the body of the pure devotee, from every pore of the body of the pure devotee, prema atoms are emanating. This is how one should see Sri Guru. This is how one should see the pure devotee. And in Srimad Bhagavatam it mentions saffron particles. It means these particles which are emanating from the lotus feet of Krishna through the medium of the Hari Katha spoken by that pure devotee. Because Krishna is situated within their heart. Tomar hriday sada govinda vishram. Always Krishna is residing within their heart. So then what is the meaning of them accepting the sins into themselves by which they will be negatively affected? They've already permanently bound not only themselves to the lotus feet of Krishna, but they have permanently bound Krishna within the prison of their heart. Chorangraganyam purusham namami. Brajeva santam namanita choram. Chorangraganyam chadukula choram. Aneka janmar chitapapa choram. Chorangraganyam purusham namami. Beautiful, beautiful by Bilvamangal Thakur. He's saying to Krishna, I will bound you within the prison of my heart and I will never let you go. How does one do this? By their unalloyed love and affection, devotion for Krishna. By their unmixed or transcendental pure love and affection. By their prema, Krishna is bound. So for that person, there's no possibility of sin affecting them or touching them or pulling their consciousness. I believe I posted a quote within the last 2 or 3 days on Facebook from Srila Gurudev, and he said that for someone who is actually permanently bound to the lotus feet of Krishna, who is serving Krishna in their internally conceived spiritual forms, who is actually engaged in their transcendental loving service to Krishna, there is no possibility of a fall down. He said if someone is falling down, you should know that this has not occurred, that they are not bound permanently. And he said you should be intelligent enough to understand and distinguish, to understand these things. So real qualification for guru is someone who is so heavily saturated with love for Krishna that just by their presence, one begins to chant the holy name of the Lord. They're so heavily bound to the lotus feet of the Lord that there is not one thing that can attract or distract them from this material world. If something is attracting or distracting them, then you should know that they are not guru, but rather they are laghu. Laghu means light. In Hindi it's halka, light. You know, like cotton candy, cotton. Any breeze can blow it away. But if something is heavy, very, very heavy, then it's difficult to move. Guru, Srila Gurudev said, is the heaviest substance, more heavy than Krishna himself. Why? Because Krishna's mercy has condensed. Think about it like oxygen. Oxygen is present in the atmosphere everywhere. But if you take that oxygen and compress it more, and put it into a container, it becomes liquid. And that liquid is very heavy. And that liquid is also very potent. If you light a lighter, look, I have props. If you light a lighter into the air, let's hope this doesn't do anything wrong. Oh, see? Look, it just makes a fire, a little fire. But if you light liquid oxygen, this is what powers rockets to go into outer space. Liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen. So powerful and so potent. And that same substance, if you can break a hydrogen atom, that makes hydrogen bombs, atomic bombs. How powerful is that? When it is condensed, when it is refined and defined. So Gurudev said, Guru is more heavy than Krishna because he is the condensed form of Krishna's mercy, Krishna's compassion. That is what Guru is. So who is qualified to give Harinam? Now, anyone can give Harinam in one sense, right? Mahaprabhu says, wherever you go, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. So this is giving Harinam in one sense. Like Vartma Pradarshika Guru, the first kind of Guru who points someone in the direction. But this is not necessarily the Guru who is the Savior. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says there is an eternal line of demarcation between the Savior and the saved. And only those who are truly saved will understand this. That the Savior is always in that position and the saved always is in the position of needing to be saved. And that is a very, very solid line of demarcation. I think it is in that bhajan, not that bhajan, that article entitled Thakur Bhakti Vinod, which I've already referenced before, bbmlu.org. You can find it there. So, who is qualified to give Krishna? That is the question. Because Harinam is non-different from Krishna. Abhinatva nama namino. Harinam is Krishna himself. So when we give something, what are we giving? Gurudev told me when I asked him, what benefit will others get by hearing my chanting? My heart is still full of so many anarthas, lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, pride, and all of this. So what benefit will others get by hearing my chanting? You've ordered me to speak about Krishna and to sing about Krishna. He said, oh, some Shakti will be there because you are under guidance. That means that through any person, if they are loyal and willing to be utilized, then Sri Guru can work through them to some extent. Hopefully we don't have too many filters, too many things or too much mud polluting that. But Sri Guru can work through. We have seen the miracles that our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has performed through his disciples. It's not that everyone who joined in 1965 was suddenly the pure devotee like Prabhupada. But still, he sent them out as his arms and his legs to accomplish the unimaginable. He would send new couples. You go to Hong Kong, you go to Africa, you go here, you go there. Open up a center and bring people to Krishna consciousness. What was their qualification? We don't really know, but they had only come to Vaishnavism within 1 or 2 years from before maybe eating meat or taking intoxication, illicit sex, all sorts of sinful activities. Immediately they gave all of that up, surrendered to their Gurudev, followed his order, and through them he accomplished what appeared to be the impossible. The possible became possible. This is Krishna's amazing miracle that such a thing can happen. So Srila Prabhupada accomplished this impossible task. He infused all of those personalities with so much power and Shakti. We have seen it. We lived through that. We watched it happen. We were there at that time. And the inspiration and enthusiasm was not only unprecedented, but it was contagious. It was infectious. And it was so powerful, so potent. Even after his disappearance, how much Shakti was flowing. And even to this day we see how many are still chanting 16 rounds every day, still trying to follow, still trying to make him the center, still reading his books, still doing all of the sadhan bhakti processes. Very, very amazing and unprecedented, our Gurudev would say. So, what is the qualification for someone to give Harinam? If Harinam is Krishna himself, one thing I remember our Srila Gurudev saying again and again and again and again, and he really drilled it into me, he impressed it deeply within my heart, within my brain, within my memory, as a sanskar. It was an impression he made. Only someone who has something can give that thing to you. If someone doesn't have it, what can they give? So only someone who has realized Krishna, who has captured Krishna in the core of their heart by their love and affection, who is of that nature where they have already established their loving relationship with Krishna, can actually, really, truly give you Krishna. In the same way that someone who has, if you want $5, then you need to go to someone who has at least $5. Then they can give you something. If they don't have $5, what can they give you? If you want $1 million, you can't approach someone who only has 5. They cannot give you $1 million. You have to approach someone who has millions. And we've seen people who are able to do that. By their connection and by their ability, they were able to actually connect with people who had millions and get them to pledge that I will donate $1 million for this project or for this cause. But you don't approach someone who only has 5 if you need $1 million, unless you're doing mass collection, a little bit from many people. But in this case, Gurudev would establish only someone who has something can give that thing to you. So who has Krishna, they can give Krishna. That is why it is said in the bhajan, O hey Vaisnava Thakur, O Vaisnava Thakur, Krishna se tomar, Krishna is yours. Therefore, Krishna dite paro, you can give Krishna. Tomara shakati ache. This is your power. Because you have him, you can give him. And what is my position? I am simply a beggar. Amito Ganga. I'm just a beggar, praying for you. Please give me the wealth of Krishna Nam, which is really Krishna. And what is the purpose of Diksha? No. Sudevi wants to add something.
No, I was going to remind you of the question of what is more, because sometimes when people go, oh, it's just Harinam.
Yes.
So I was just, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakati ache. Krishna is yours. You can give Krishna. This is within your power. And I'm just like a beggar. So who can give Krishna? Someone who possesses Krishna. And we can check ourselves. We have knowledge of Krishna. So to the extent that we have knowledge, we can share that knowledge like a parrot. We can repeat what we have heard. And we can point someone in the direction. Oh, I have met Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Such a wonderful personality. You should also meet him and hear from him. I can only help you so much, but I cannot really give you prema. I cannot awaken your relationship with Krishna because I have not yet awakened mine. Oh, I can recommend you to such a highly qualified person. I have met Srila Govinda Goswami Maharaj. I have met Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Tomorrow is the day of Srila Bhakti Kamal Govinda Maharaj. I have met him. I have met Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. I have met Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I can recommend you to such a personality. So many transcendental, qualified personalities who can give you what they have in their heart. So there are so many different levels. So who can give Krishna? Interestingly enough, according to Shastra, the Uttam Bhagavat Guru, that person who's on the transcendental highest platform, they see everyone with equal vision. And because of this, they see that everyone is serving Krishna. That everything is happening according to the will of Krishna and everything is serving Krishna. So there is no need for them to instruct anyone. Simply by their presence, as they are taking shelter of and serving Sri Harinam Prabhu, this means Amala Harinam Amiyabilasa, serving Radha and Krishna in their transcendental pastimes. Just by being there, by their presence, they are maintaining the entire universe. Without their presence, this universe would cease to exist in a moment. Srila Gurudev spoke this, Srila Govinda Maharaj spoke this, so many of our Guru Varga have spoken this. That this material world would cease to exist in a moment because the purpose for the existence of this material world is so Krishna can give mercy. So if there's no function of His mercy present in this world, then what's the use? There would be no need for it. So Krishna's mercy appears in the form of the pure devotees, especially. Srila Gurudev said, to think that there is no pure devotee available, this is an atheistic opinion. Means I don't accept that Krishna's mercy is an eternal transcendental truth, and that His mercy takes form. All of Krishna's qualities also have personifications. Same with Srimati Radhika. So, who can give Harinam? Interestingly, yes, the Uttama is always there, taking shelter of Harinam Prabhu. But for our sake, for the sake of the conditioned souls of this world, the Baddha Jivas, the Uttam, means the form of Krishna's mercy, may step down. I don't want to use the word step down, actually, because it sounds like they are becoming less. But they might take a role. Instead of being in that postgraduate position, they might take a role as a high school teacher to help us, to discriminate between what is favorable and what is unfavorable, what is plaguing our hearts. So they will take that role like a teacher. This is your situation. This is why you're not able to progress. So they will actually see, this is what's holding you back, and so you should avoid those pitfalls and you should move forward in this way. And by this, you will progress. So Shastra says that the Uttam takes the role of Madhyam Bhagavat. And interestingly enough, this question was asked to me today by another devotee as well, about Madhyam and Bhakti Devi. So Bhakti Devi, who is supremely independent, not independent from Krishna, but she has been given, in essence, the right or the freedom to manifest to whom she wants, when she wants. So she has placed herself in the very capable hands of the Madhyam Bhagavat, means the middle class devotee, Madhyam Bhagavat. My understanding is that person who has stepped into the position of Madhyam from the Uttam platform, they have the capacity to actually give bhakti, to awaken bhakti in our hearts. But those who are coming up also, they can help us up to their level. Srila Gurudev always said this. One can help you up to their level. So if a Kanishta Vaishnava is accepting disciples, they can help you as far as they have come. So something is there. We can say some benefit is there. But this is not necessarily the definition of Shri Guru. Shri Guru is that personality who is endowed with Shri. This means they are carrying Srimati Radhika, her mood of loving service to Krishna in their hearts. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj explains this. You can find it in a book entitled Sri Guru Vandana. This was really the book which opened my eyes to some extent to what Guru Tattva is. And within 2 or 3 days from that, then I was brought to meet Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. So, one who is endowed with Shri, who is carrying the mood of Srimati Radhika's love and affection for Krishna. This means maidservant of Srimati Radhika, Gopi of Srimati Radhika. They are carrying that mood. But I don't want to get too sidetracked. So, who can give Diksha and what is Diksha? Diksha means, Jiva Goswami says, Divyam Jnanam Kshapayati iti Diksha. So Divyam Jnana means transcendental knowledge. Who can give transcendental knowledge? What kind of knowledge? Knowledge of one's relationship with Krishna. Specific relationship. Inherent, eternal, transcendental relationship with Krishna. Only someone who has realized this, truly, who has realized their relationship with Krishna, they can awaken and can diagnose our intrinsic, inherent, eternal relationship with Krishna and direct us accordingly. And Kshapayati means, and the subsequent removal of all anarthas. So who can remove our anarthas? Well, Bhakti Devi removes our anarthas. Shri Guru can remove our anarthas. Who has removed or who has no anarthas can clean us from anarthas. If someone's heart is full of anarthas, then how much can we clean of another person's anarthas? Not really possible. We can't, really. So, the question is, only Harinam? No. It is not only Harinam. Srila Gurudev said, just 2 days ago we heard him. He said, Harinam is everything, not only Harinam. Diksha is only there as a support for Harinam, to bring Harinam to its fruition. From the beginning we are maybe chanting Nam Aparad. That means we are making so many offenses to Harinam. And the result of those offenses is, instead of attaining prema bhakti, instead of serving Radha and Krishna, we might be making so many offenses, and then we will increase our desire for wealth, our desire for sense gratification, our desire for name, fame, position, power, all sorts of other things. That is why it is essential that we always remain under the guidance of the pure Vaishnava. Ekaki amar nahi paye bal Harinam sankirtane, tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya, deho Krishna namadhane. On my own I have no strength, I have no power to actually access the transcendental, pure name of Krishna. Harinam sankirtane. O Vaishnava Thakur, O Gurudev, please be merciful to me. Give me just one drop of faith. Shraddha bindudiya. What faith? That just by engaging in the process of bhakti, automatically all other obligations are taken care of. I have nothing else to worry about. I have nothing else to do except dive deep into the process of sadhana and bhajan under the guidance of Tad Anuragi Jan, that person whose heart is saturated with divine love for Krishna, for whom the material world holds no charm whatsoever. This morning we were hearing this, I believe. Gurudev kept saying it. There is nothing that can charm them of this material world. Nothing can charm them. There is nothing that can attract or distract them from this world. That is the qualification. So Diksha is the support for Harinam. If someone says, oh, it's only Harinam, actually, to me, this sounds even disrespectful. It's only Harinam. Diksha is not real initiation. Gurudev said initiation means Harinam. This is the beginning. One is beginning. And Guru is planting Krishna in our heart, installing Krishna in our heart, doing pran pratishta of Krishna in our heart in the same way that Guru does pran pratishta of Krishna into these forms. When they're in the bazaar and someone's with their feet on them and they're hammering and chiseling and doing all that, those metal forms, they have their feet on them and they're using hammers and chisels. After that, once they polish them and everything, then we bring them to Sri Guru and he performs a process. There is a process. He's calling Krishna, you please come and you reside in these forms to accept the worship of your devotees. They will serve you. They will love you. And please give them bhakti sukriti as the result of that. So by that process, Gurudev is doing pran pratishta. Pran means life. Manifesting or awakening the life. Asking Krishna, you reside in these forms. And then Krishna comes and resides in these forms and accepts the worship and the love of his devotees. Gurudev told us, and you are all doing this service right now, whether you realize it or not. There was a time we were traveling around the world so much. I think we went to like 26 different countries in 1 year and 64 cities. And it was just crazy. And certain devotees were saying, well, why don't you leave your Thakurji with us? Because it was difficult to travel with them. They're quite heavy. I think they're 17 kilos with their stands. And then the airlines made a rule, you can only carry 7 kilos on board with you. And we were like, oh my God, what to do? So each one of us would carry a different Thakurji with us. And then they were like, oh, you can't carry Mahaprabhu because he could be used as a weapon. And we were thinking, what, is he going to karate chop you? So we were a little bit hesitant, and we were leaving them with different devotees, and we told Gurudev, some devotees are asking, can they stay with us in the temple? And Gurudev said no. They want to be with you, and they want to travel the world and see all of their devotees everywhere. So, you are serving them by allowing them to also see you. Gurudev has called Krishna to be in these forms. In the same way, Gurudev has called Krishna to manifest in our heart. He has done Pran Pratishta. And what is our sadhan? What is our chanting? What is our process of bhakti? It is, in essence, a treasure hunt. It is the process of weeping and crying and searching. Where are you? Gurudev said this. There is no problem in this world. There is no problem. There's only one problem. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So this is the internal search. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj said that the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is the sound of the jiva crying in separation from Krishna. So it is our internal search for that Krishna that Gurudev has installed in our heart. This is the qualification for who can give Harinam. They can place Krishna in our heart. So we might hear initial Hare Krishna from anyone, but then we will receive higher and higher class sadhu sangha. And any very high level Vaisnava, when they chant the holy name or when they give Harikatha, they are placing Krishna. They are awakening Krishna in our heart. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoite. I'm going to quote Srila Gurudeva Maharaj. Guru makes Krishna appear in your heart. This is the qualification for Guru. So no, it is not only Harinam. To dismiss, oh, it's only Harinam. No, Harinam is everything. Mahaprabhu even said that. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shakti. You have invested your holy names with all of your transcendental potency. Everything is there in Harinam. Amala Harinam, in your pure holy name. Amya Vilasa, all of your pastimes are present. Harinam Tua, Aneka Swarupa, within your name, unlimited transcendental forms, pastimes, personalities are present within your holy name. So his holy names are everything. And Diksha, Divyam Jnanam Shapayati iti Diksha, this means transcendental knowledge. Knowledge of what? They're the relationship building mantras. Starting with Brahma Gayatri. Then Guru Mantra, Guru Gayatri. Gaur Mantra, Gaur Gayatri. Gopal Mantra, Kam Gayatri. Panchatattva Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They're building our relationship. First to Guru, then Gauranga, then Krishna, then love itself. Love itself. Actually, that is embodied in the form of Srimati Radhika, but also the first one, Brahma Gayatri, is also referring to her, Bhargo Devasya. So all of these mantras, Srila Gurudev explained that in our case, Harinam is like rice. You have rice, but you need to make it offerable. So what do? You need a pot, you need water, you need salt, maybe a little ghee. You need fire, you need a lid, you need a spoon. So many things. So these are like our Diksha mantras. And they're making that rice become offerable. So in this way, also by our Diksha mantras, by developing these relationships with these transcendental personalities, this is bringing our Harinam to maturation. To the point where we will understand that when I am chanting Harinam, this is not chanting Harinam. Gurudev said, I have never chanted anything. I am serving Harinam Prabhu. So why do we chant Hare Krishna? Why do we do anything on the path of bhakti? It is only for the service of Krishna. It is to please Krishna for his happiness, for his pleasure, and for his benefit. if we apply this verse, the definition of bhakti, to every aspect of bhakti that we engage in, then hopefully it can start to actually become bhakti. What is that verse? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavartam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. It's not covered by any desire for any fruitive result, for any freedom from suffering. Devotees don't desire cessation from suffering. Devotees only pray, Mama janmani janmani shvare bhavata bhaktirahoitaki tvayi. Birth after birth, may I always have unalloyed devotion for you. That you can do whatever you like with me, it does not matter. But let me always have devotion for you. Even if it has to be as an insect in the home of a devotee. Let me always maintain the association of your devotees. Kita janmaha jata duvadas bahir mukha brahmanahim ash. I don't want to even become like Brahma, if he is averse to you. Let me be as an insect in the home of a devotee, so that I can always hear your glories. And what does the Supreme Lord say? Nam vasami vaikunte yoginam hridayena cha madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. O Nard, where do I reside? Not in Vaikuntha, not even in the hearts of the yogis, but wherever my devotees come together and make a festival of glorifying my names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, that place I reside. So you see, all devotees are always praying to the Lord, oh, please give me the association of your pure devotee. So the Madhyam Vaishnava, they can give. That is their function, because they are discriminating. So as I spoke previously, there are two different kinds of Madhyam Vaishnava. There's the one who is descending or taking that position, who is from the Uttam platform, and there's the one who's coming up from Kanishta. There is a difference. One may have theoretical knowledge, and one will have practical knowledge. Srila Prabhupada was explaining in terms of Tattvadarshi, he who has practical realization of his relationship with Krishna, that is the Uttam Bhakta, that is the person who is qualified to be Guru. But there may be someone who is taking that role for some time, but what is their function? Their function is to bring you to the higher level Vaishnava. So they may help you for some time, but the moment any superior, supreme, or high-level Vaishnava manifests, they themselves, with all of their disciples, will come and submit themselves at the feet of that higher-level Vaishnava. This is a symptom of a real Madhyam Vaishnava. They will bring someone to the Uttam Vaishnava. And if any disciple finds any superior personality, any superior guru who can give so much, who gives this Harikatha and who can awaken prema, then that disciple's duty is to tell their Madhyam Guru, look who I found. And that guru will say, oh, wow, yes, you should go and I will also come with you. I am quoting Srila Gurudev when I'm speaking this. You should go and I will also come with you. This is the nature of the Madhyam Vaishnava. Prema Maitri Kripa Peksha Yat Karoti Samadhyama. They have prema for Bhagavan. And also so much love, affection, and honor for the Uttam Vaishnava. Maitri, they have friendship for like-minded. Kripa, they have mercy for those who are junior to them. Junior meaning who require mercy, who are maybe not as fortunate in terms of their level of bhakti. But the Madhyam Vaishnava is always seeking the association of superior Vaishnavas. Always, always, always. If someone says, oh, I don't need any Vaishnava association, I've had enough in my life, there's something wrong with this mood. All pure Vaishnavas are always seeking the association of pure Vaishnavas. Krishna himself is seeking the association of his pure Vaishnavas. All pure devotees are seeking the association of pure devotees. This is the nature of pure devotion. And to the extent that one has actually progressed, they will feel themselves so lowly that they will always seek the association of pure devotees. If one says, oh, I don't need anything more, I have enough, I've done everything, I have had so much association, this is not the proof of really accepting that association. They will always be greedy for that higher association. So real initiation is Harinam. And real initiation, actually, Diksha comes afterward. So initiation means to begin something. So Gurudev gives Harinam to begin the process. And actually the process, the entire process from beginning to end is known as Diksha. So Diksha is not the moment that Gurudev gives you your Diksha mantras. Diksha is the beginning of the process of bhakti, meaning the development of one's relationship, even starting with Vartma Pradarshika Guru. That moment that you have received that first drop of Mahaprasad or heard Harinam being chanted in the streets, or just glanced somehow at any pure Vaisnava, or a picture of Krishna that makes you go, what is that? Something that sparks interest. This is the beginning of the process of awakening one's relationship with Krishna. And then Gurudev gives Harinam. So this is initiation. He's beginning something, starting something. And from that point, progressing, evolving, growing. From the seed form, growing and growing and growing until you permanently bind your lotus feet, yourself to the lotus feet of Krishna. And then the fruit of prem manifests. Sri Mahaprabhu told this to Rupa Goswami. Shravana Kirtana Jale Koriye Sechan. Through the process of hearing and chanting, the creeper of bhakti is nourished and watered. And it begins to grow until finally it finds itself permanently to the lotus feet of Krishna, wherein the fruit of prem will manifest, which is so tasty. So, thank you, Raghava. Sadhu Guru is not a theoretical speaker only. Even Krishna could not be satisfied with him speaking Gita only theoretically. So therefore, he, Krishna himself, appeared as the son of Mother Shachi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to practically show how to surrender and practice the teachings of the Gita. So how can we actually develop this mood? Really by being under the guidance of someone who is really like that, who has actually fully surrendered and given their heart in love and affection to Krishna, and is engaged practically in their transcendental relationship with Krishna. This is not to say that we cannot derive any help from anyone else, but if someone does not have or has not awakened their relationship with Krishna, and they're claiming that they can save you, then they're cheating. They can only save you if they bring you to someone who has awakened their transcendental relationship with Krishna. So it is not child's play. It is not a game to act in the role of guru. It's not that, oh, my guru has left this world, so now I'm guru. It's not like that. The king is dead, long live the king. No. Nowhere in our Shastras has it said that this is the qualification for guru. That is why it is essential that we learn Guru Tattva, so that we don't become blinded by sentimentality. It's so easy. Anyone can say, now I'm a guru, and then you can go and you can start giving Harinam and this and that. Even our Gurudev was quoted as saying, oh, some are waiting for me to leave so that they can become Acharya. I want to see what will happen now. I want them to start now. I want to see what will happen when beautiful ladies are coming to them. Oh, Maharaj, I love you so much. How will they be able to handle this? It's not an easy thing. It is not a cheap thing. It is a very serious undertaking. And we've seen the quality of real gurus, and we've seen the quality of those who are not on that level. How many have I seen who have fallen? They used to sing a song every time another one bites the dust. I mean, it's just falling, 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 falling. Even there were jokes about it when I was growing up in Gurukul. But to actually come into contact with a real transcendental guru, this is the greatest fortune of the jiva. The greatest fortune. That jiva who has received this great fortune, Bhagyavana Jiv, the supremely fortunate jiva, receives by the mercy of Krishna, Guru Krishna in their life, by which the tendency to serve Krishna is awakened within their heart. This is the most unprecedented, amazing miracle that comes into the life of any bound soul, any Baddha Jiva, that Sri Guru comes and gives Harinam and begins engaging us, awakening us in the process of how to love and serve Krishna. When you say one who has awakened their transcendental relationship with Krishna, what exactly do you mean? Srila Prabhupada said this. He wrote it or said it in the lecture on Tadvidhi Pranipatena. And then Srila Govinda Maharaj also explained it like this, specifically one who is actually engaged in their transcendental relationship with Krishna. What do I mean? Nikunja yuno ratikeli siddhyai yayali bhir yukti rapekshaniya tatrati dakshad ativallabhasya vande guru shri charanarvindam. That means it's not theoretical for them. It's not only, I have heard of this person Krishna, and I've heard that his complexion is bluish or blackish, and I've heard that he is dancing with the gopis, and I've heard that we should develop a relationship of love and affection with him, and I've heard that through the process of Harinam this can take place, and I have heard that through the process of associating with pure Vaishnavas this can take place. Sounds like what I'm telling you. That is what I'm telling you, because I have not yet realized that. And when I'm using the word realize, means it is real. It is not a theoretical idea, not something of the mind, not some creation of the mind. It is the pure transcendental soul engaged in their eternal relationship with Krishna. How? In the Nikunjas of Vrindavan, serving Radha Krishna eternally. Here in Anibhoma Vrindavan and in Aprakat Vrindavan, serving them in their eternal pastimes. This is what I mean by one who has awakened their transcendental relationship with Krishna. Means practically experiencing their relationship with Krishna. For that person, there is nothing of this material world that can ever distract them, that could cause them to fall down. They are way beyond that. There's no possibility of fall down. Impossible. For those persons, it is impossible. Krishna himself says, Yadgatvaman nivattande tadhama paramam mama. One who has come to me, they will never have to take birth in this material world. Maya cannot touch them. Impossible. Impossible. They can cast Maya out from millions of persons' hearts. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he said this, and Srila Govinda Maharaj paraphrased him almost verbatim, word for word, in terms of his mood of nishta to his own Gurudev. That I know that by a single particle of dust from the lotus feet of my Gurudev, millions of people of this world can be delivered. Any other current of consciousness which comes, which might be even against or opposed to the conceptions of my Gurudev, which are completely transcendental, supreme and pure, I will cast them out with a punch of my fist. There's no greater concept in this world than the words, the teachings of my Gurudev. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said this. So how can one particle of dust liberate millions of people of this world? One particle of dust from their lotus feet. Means these persons are completely transcendental. Through and through, there is no inebriety, there is no mal, there is no impurity whatsoever. There's no tendency for any mundane activity. Srila Gurudev said, you can trust me, I won't fall down. That blew my mind when he said that. A lot of people can say it, but who can really mean it? You know, anyone can write, I won't fall down. People have said it, and then you see them fall down. But when Gurudev said it, it was so... And Prabhupada also said it. You can place me in a room full of naked ladies, and I won't be in the slight bit disturbed. I don't know many men that can say such a thing. But these personalities are completely bound to Krishna, so there's nothing of this material world that can distract them. What happens to a guru who does not allow their disciple to take the association of a high-class guru? Srila Srila Gurudev also spoke on this subject quite extensively. If there is really a high-class guru, and they have basically ticked all of the boxes that they are of that position, and any guru who might be coming up to Madhyam maybe, or Kanishta, because they don't know how to understand the Vaishnavas properly or their quality, if they don't want to associate, and if they also stop their disciples from associating, then Srila Gurudev explained that if that guru, the other guru, is really a high-class guru and can give Krishna, then that disciple should reject that bogus guru immediately and should go to that high-class association. Because if that guru is actually real, maybe Madhyam, this is really the qualification, basic qualification for guru, maybe Madhyam. But if they are encouraging that disciple, then they themselves will go. Because they don't have a selfish mood. What is the mood of guru? They don't want to take anything for themselves. They want themselves to progress, and they want to help their own disciples to progress. So we've seen this, how everyone sent their disciples to Jiva Goswami, and how Jiva Goswami sent so many to others, that, oh, you can progress properly under their guidance. How Bhaktivedanta Thakur sent Saraswati Thakur to Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Not your mind like this, selfish mood. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj sent so many of his disciples to our Srila Gurudev for further instruction. It's not that he was seeing Gurudev as superior to me, maybe he was. Although he was the Acharya, but still they were growing up under the guidance of our Srila Gurudev. So many persons. So we've seen this in so many different cases. Not that just you are mine and I won't allow you to progress. Even Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, he introduced so many of his disciples to his own Shiksha Guru. They told us how when they met his Shiksha Guru, he would embrace them and they would be weeping and crying. How beautiful was this interaction. When they would explain it, I can't even express the way that they would just start weeping when they would start speaking about this. So it's not that he was even saying, oh, just you're mine, stay with me. No, he also wanted to bring them to other Vaishnavas. This was his nature. If there's any great and powerful personality and they feel that there is some danger, maybe someone is off, then they may tell you, be careful. And this is also right. This one may have sahajya tendency, be careful. I've seen some things in their character where they're going against the teachings of their own guru. Be careful. They're making aparadha to Vaishnavas. Be careful. They cannot control their senses. They're engaging in so many nefarious activities in the nighttime. And then in the daytime pretending that they are pure and transcendental. Be careful. There's nothing wrong with that. That is called affection. If you see that something is dangerous, then to alert someone to the danger.
If it's a matter of life and death.
If it is truly a matter of life and death, which guru-disciple relationship is, then to not warn someone of a pitfall is guilty by, complicit by one's silence. It is guilty of complicity in bringing death to that person who is searching for Krishna. It will be known as jiva hingsa, or violence to the jiva. If one is actually actively sending someone to someone else, or not, warning them if there is danger, it is violence. I don't want to end with the word violence, but I need to bring that up.
She has to do her thing.
Yes. Ooh, time is getting late. So these concepts have all been spoken about in great detail by our Srila Gurudev. One time I went to one location and I was speaking Guru Tattva. And one devotee said to me, you know, there's so many new gurus. This is how he approached me. He said, and maybe they're not on that level like Gurudev. Maybe you shouldn't speak Guru Tattva so purely. But I asked Gurudev this question directly. When Gurudev was giving different instructions to different Vaishnavas, I said, what should I preach? Should I change the conception of Guru Tattva to accommodate maybe those who might not be on that level? And Gurudev said, you should preach Guru Tattva as I preach it. And this was a very important instruction. We should preach the truth. We should preach from Shastra. We should not water down Shastra to accommodate anything. Although exceptions may be there, exception is not the rule. The rule is Shastra Chakshusha, that we should see through the eyes of Shastra. And then within that, there may be so many exceptions. So this is something important to understand, that we should not change tattva. We should not change siddhanta to accommodate our weaknesses. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj, he explained that we can tolerate anything, but we cannot tolerate changes in tattva or siddhanta. That is not something that can be voted upon. Tattva is tattva. Truth is truth. And that is forever. That is absolute. So we cannot change it to accommodate any mundane, material, sentimental principle. That is not the function of anyone who is a Vaisnava or a devotee. If we have weakness, then I am weak. We can admit that. But we don't need to try to justify our weakness or nonsense through the medium of Shastra. Oh yes, I'm weak, so let me justify it through Shastra. No, I'm weak. I need help. Please, Gurudev, please, Vaishnavas, see my condition and help me. But we should not compromise tattva, siddhanta, for any mundane principle. So preaching purely, if anyone feels that way about their guru, that is great. If you preach Guru Tattva and someone thinks about their guru, oh my God, my guru doesn't really seem to what is it?
Fit that bill.
Fit the bill. My guru doesn't seem to actually have all those qualifications. That's not the problem of the preacher. That could be the problem of that guru or that disciple, that they don't have those qualifications.
But Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur said, it is important that we try to accept that guru who has descended from Goloka Vrindavan. It's important to take that kind of guru. And he said, but ultimately, even if we don't, if we have even a Kanishta guru, he said, if we worship our Gurudev, that with that mood that you are the topmost, he said, Paramatma in the heart will hear that as a prayer and will gradually bring that sincere disciple to the highest class guru. So it's not only on the guru, it's also on the disciple, the sincerity of the disciple. It's both.
Srila Gurudev said we should not take a third-class bogus person and place them in the position of Mahabhagavat, saying, oh, you are Mahabhagavat. He said this will be an offense to the real Mahabhagavat Guru. So if the disciple has that faith, the disciple should. Otherwise, one should not accept Guru, like, oh, you're my Guru, unless they have faith that you can bring me to Krishna. This subject can keep going on and on. One should have this faith. Maybe they've accepted a Kanishta Guru, but one should have this faith in their Guru. If they're saying, oh, my Guru is a Kanishta, that means they think that their Guru doesn't know how to even honor Vaishnavas properly. Then how can they surrender to that person? So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada also explained, and so this is also in line with what Sudevi just told, that one should see their Guru like this. If they can't see their Guru like this, then there is no meaning to their surrender. And since surrender is the first step on the path of bhakti, Ado Guru Parashray, since surrender is the first step on the path of bhakti, then how can you even begin the process of bhakti without that surrender? So one should first make sure of the bona fides of that person that they will accept as Guru. And you can read this in the end of the purport of the 5th verse of Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita by our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. There he is talking that one cannot develop well under the insufficient guidance of those who might not be on the highest level. And if those personalities fall down, it will create chaos and havoc in the life of the disciple. So one should be careful to accept only the highest level Vaishnava as their spiritual master to make rapid progress on the path of bhakti. And that relationship should not be bound by any social or ecclesiastic convention. Meaning, oh, because my friends tell me, then I should accept. Or because my religion says, means I'm bound in some society or institution, so they all say, well, you can't take shelter from Sri Guru if Sri Guru appears from right outside of your society. If Sri Guru appears in so many different ways. So my prayer at this point, especially after the departure, the physical departure of my Gurudev, because I require further help, shiksha. My prayer is that I pray to be able to recognize, by the mercy of Krishna, Sri Guru, however, wherever, and wherever he may or she may appear. Because with my own material vision, with my own material process, by my own material senses, I may not be able to ascertain. But Krishna, this is his business and Guru's business to provide additional help. So really it's a factor of our own sincerity and our own prayers. So we will end here. Thank you so much for your questions and for your encouragement and for giving us the opportunity to remember these teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupananda Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Madhavi ki. Bolo Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Shri Vrindavan Hari Lal ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam Gaura Premanande.
Hari Bo.
So thank you all very much for being with us today, for engaging us in our Guru Seva, and for also helping us to remember all of the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam, Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Radhe Radhe,
Radhe
Radha
Radhe.
Hari Ki
Jai.